Hello everyone, I'm going to be reading my old Hetalia Fanfiction, Hetaoni Unheard Screams, Chapter 10. And you know how I said in the last chapter that Chapter 9 was 10 pages long? Chapter 10 is 15 pages long. I'm not kidding, I'm not exaggerating, literally 15 pages. And you know what's even crazier? It just proves that I am a mad lad, or was a mad lad in my junior year. If anyone paid attention to the last chapter reading, I printed out Chapter 9 on November 20th, 2015. Guess when I printed out Chapter 10? November 24th, 2015. Don't ask what kind of drugs I was on back then. I have no idea. I have no flipping idea. Like, how the hell did I write 10 pages in one chapter and then 4 days later write 15 pages for a chapter? How? I wish I could do that nowadays. Nowadays, I can't. I can't do that. Like, oh my god. How? I don't know. I honest to God don't know. So, yeah. I'm gonna be reading this 15-page chapter. Let's get started. Actually, no. Before I start, I counted the last two chapters, chapter 11, chapter 12, the pages I have. They are only 5 pages each. Combined 10 pages. 10 pages after these 15 pages I have to read. This freaking chapter caused me to get freaking burnt out so that I could only write 5 pages each for the last 2 chapters. Holy crap. Holy effing crap. So chapter 9 and chapter 10, 25 pages. Last 2 chapters of the story are like 10 pages. Jesus Christ, I just realized this. Okay, now I'll actually start. Tsvetan and the group ran down into the basement and found a room to hide in. After thoroughly looking through it, they began a meeting. So what do we do now? Let's get rid of the elephant in the room, Elizabeta said. Is it really safe to let Andrei keep that machete? Andrei perked up from cleaning and desiccating his machete. The blood dyed the old bedsheets he was using red. I mean, should we really trust him with a weapon when he could easily turn against us? What makes you think you are any better? Andrei asked icily. Tsvetan felt like another fight was going to break out, and he prepared himself to stop the incidents from separating the group again. I do not think it would be too wise to debilitate the group by getting rid of the machete. I can't believe you actually think that getting rid of this will solve problems. It does not matter whether we get rid of it or not, someone is probably going to die. Do you honestly think I'm that psychotic to kill someone? Andrei questioned. Maybe I do. You know how I said that it was very ironic that Elizabeta said that she had to get along with people that she doesn't get along with in the group to get out? Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about. But then again, I did have a 4-day crunch to get this chapter out so I could actually get a grade. But then again, why couldn't 16-year-old me, 16 almost going 17-year-old me actually think this through? I don't know whether to blame myself or not. Okay, that is enough, Tsvetan broke in. Fighting is not going to solve anything. It will only drive us further apart. He is right. Instead of fighting, we need to figure out what to do next, Erika said. There was a moment of silence before Elizabeta spoke again. I'm sorry, Erika. I guess this mansion is really getting to my head. And my cat's being a dick. If I could make a suggestion, I think we should rest here for now. What is it with wanting to sleep all the time, Jakub? I think I was going to elaborate on this, but I never did. I'll probably elaborate it in the rewrite that I keep procrastinating on. Well, the overall atmosphere of this mansion really stresses me out. You wasn't wrong about that, Gilbert commented. The group decided that they would rest for a while before figuring out what to do next. Okay, now we're on to the good stuff. When Tsvetan woke up, he heard Eliska calling for him to get up. He did not want to get up, but Eliska proceeded to try and get him up. Tsvetan, get up! Something really bad happened. Tsvetan got up and saw Elizabeta, Erika, and Jakub out in the hallway. Tsvetan was still half asleep, but could tell that Elizabeta was seething with anger. I swear, once I find him, I'll use that machete on him. Eliza, please calm down. Tsvetan got up, full of questions to ask. He followed Eliska out of the room and noticed that Andrei and Gilbert were not around. What happened? Gilbert and Andrei are missing. We were searching for them when we found this. Eliska pointed down the hallway to show a trail of blood. Tsvetan felt cold, thinking about what the others were suggesting. You weren't suggesting that. Tsvetan, I'm not saying Andrei did or did not kill Gilbert, but the fact of the matter is they are both... I wrote or! I wrote or! I didn't write R! I wrote or! Look at me! Not going through and making sure I didn't put the wrong word. They're both gone. Andrei took his machete and there's blood down that hallway, Eliska answered. I refuse to believe it. There's no way Andrei would do this, Tsvetan shrugged. No, he would never. Should we check the room at the end of the hall? Jakub inquired. It is where the blood leads to. We did not want to check it, but with Tsvetan here negating the idea of Andrei being a killer, we might as well. The group headed to the door and hesitantly opened it. What they found inside did not surprise any except for Tsvetan, who was dumbfounded by what he saw. The other members already had a feeling of what was behind the door, thus they were not surprised. However, for Tsvetan, he wished for this to just be an awful dream that he would wake up from. There in front of them was Gilbert. He looked as if he had been dead for a long time. He was lying on his side, blood drenched him in the floor. Got anything to say, Tsvetan? So, yep, Gilbert's dead. I feel like that's sort of a trope for Prussia to die first all the time. Also, no, I did not rip that off from Hetafax game Russification Roulette. And no spoilers, I haven't gone past Chapter 1 trial. I still need to replace my laptop. So yeah, no, I did not rip that off from Russification Roulette because I wrote this before Russification Roulette became a thing. So anyway, let's continue. Tsvetan felt empty inside. He did not want to consider the possibility that Andrei had killed Gilbert of all people. Tsvetan knew that they were good friends. Why on earth would Andrei turn the blade on Gilbert? I still don't believe it, Tsvetan answered. What do you mean you don't believe it? Elizabeta questioned. You have put up quite a sophistry. Sometimes I forget that this is these are vocab assignments, and I still put the weirdest vocab in here, because it was part of the assignment. Saying that Andrei was behind this, Tsvetan said, examining Gilbert's lifeless body. But Andrei and Gilbert were good friends. What good reason would Andrei have to kill Gilbert? Isn't it obvious? If this house can drive people into paranoia and insanity, surely Andrei would have lost it. But Andrei seemed so willing to help us. Look, Tsvetan, he manipulated us. You can keep loving him all you want, but we know what he did. Are we splitting up again? We cannot afford to split up. Well, are you going to help us get out, or do you want to save a bloodthirsty killer? I want to help you out. Really, I do. But I want to hear from Andrei. I want to hear his side of the story. Suit yourself. Elizabeta, Eliska, Erika, and Jakub left the room. Tsvetan was now left alone with only a flashlight to put together the puzzle pieces. After saying Elizabeta, Eliska, and Erika, I am so glad that in the rewrite Erika's only a minor character. I changed Elizabeth's name, and Czechia's human name is now Aruna. I'm very glad about that, because I never had to run into saying those three names again. After looking over the scene, Tsvetan found that the injuries on Gilbert were far too horrible to come from the machete. They just had to jump to conclusions. This mention is causing everyone to become paranoid. Tsvetan looked under the bed next to Gilbert to find a camera underneath it. He picked up the bloody camera, astonished by such a find. By any chance, did Gilbert record his last minutes alive? Tsvetan turned it on and found the most recent video. When he played it, though, he did not find much. All it was him running from something, trying to shut the room door and having the door swung open. He played it again, trying to watch with more focus, when he heard something in the video. It sounded like someone shouting. Tsvetan only managed to get here. Damn it, me! Damn it, past me! Why didn't you check this? Get away from him. The voice sounded like Andrei. Could it be that everyone got it all wrong? Tsvetan mentally slapped himself for not being able to find the camera before everyone left. But perhaps there was still a chance of finding them. They could not have gone far. I think I found the piece of the puzzle to consummate it, though I still want to know what Andrei's story is. However, before Tsvetan could do anything, he heard something stand up behind him. His calmness was now replaced by fear, realizing that Gilbert had most likely been killed by a monster. He stood up and faced the reanimated body of Gilbert. Gilbert grinned sinisterly. It's funny how easily blinded people are in this mansion. Gilbert, what happened to you? What happened does not matter. Though I would be worried about Andrei if I were you. Not only does he have to go up against monsters, but vengeance-filled humans as well. Besides, Elizabeta did say she would use his own machete on him. It is all these monsters' fault that everyone is losing it. Actually, it is an imprecation, but you won't live to tell the tale, so what difference does it make? Gilbert lunged at Tsvetan quickly and held Tsvetan down. Tsvetan found that he could not fight against such immense strength that Gilbert had. Gilbert began shape-shifting into a monster, and Tsvetan knew his time was up. Welcome to the minority of shapeshifters, Tsvetan. Gilbert fully transformed and was about to bite down on Tsvetan's neck when the door was kicked down. Gilbert did not pay any heed and proceeded to try and bite down when something cut through the monster's flesh. Gilbert hissed in pain as whatever it was continued to slash his back. Tsvetan tried to slide away from the monster's grasp, but his wrists were firmly held down. At last, the sharp object was plunged into the monster's neck, and it released Tsvetan's wrist. Tsvetan slid out and was surprised with what he saw. There on top of the monster's corpse was Andrei. His machete was plunged deep into the beast's neck as he tried to catch his breath. Tsvetan sat up and looked Andrei straight in the eye. Andrei's eyes were bloodshot red, as if he had been crying heavily recently. Andrei crawled away from the corpse and gave Tsvetan a hug. Sobbing was heard. Andrei choked out a few words. I couldn't save him. I tried. I understand. Those simple words caused Andrei to cry even more. Tsvetan tried his best to comfort him as they sat on the floor together. So the demon just walked into the room and chose the closest person to the door? Yes, I could not sleep, but I heard it. The monster began dragging Gilbert out when he woke up and began screaming at it to go away, Andrei replied. I got up and began attacking it with my machete, but it did not care and kept chasing after Gilbert. What happened after Gilbert was killed? I tried to kill the beast, but it ran away. I was so shocked over what happened and filled with so much sadness and rage at the same time. Part of me wanted to collapse and cry, while the other part of me wanted to hunt the monster down. My anger got the best of me, and I went to hunt the monster down. Why did you come back here? After I killed the monster, I knew that Gilbert would be one of them, and I came back here. However, before I got here, I heard the group walking through the halls. They had quite a few choice words in their invectives toward me. Wait, you met up with them? No, I saw and heard them, but they did not see me. Good, because I think Elizabeta wants you dead. Andrei was silent for a while, looking blankly at the corpse and pulling the machete out of the monster's neck. This place has driven everyone insane. I can understand her wanting to beat me up, but killing me is a whole other playing field. I think only Elizabeta has been affected by this, but she seems to be influencing the others into following her. Oh, how surprising, Andrei commented sarcastically. Though it is a real wonder that Eliska and Jakub are not here. She must be pretty convincing. It's just a hypothesis, but maybe the others are easy to convince because they too are losing it. If that is the case, we need to get out of here as soon as possible. What about the others? I've tried to protect them. I really do not want to leave them behind, but the fact is that they're going madder by the minute, and by the time we find them, they will not listen to us. So it is better that we leave them behind? If we happen to run into them, we can try to convince them to come with us. However, if they do not want to, that is their choice. Well, we should take initiative, fuck, I cannot say that, and start looking for a way out. Both boys began looking around the basement for a way out. Strangely enough, there were no monsters around to hunt them down. The entire place seemed even more eerie with how silent it was. Well, this is an anomaly, Tsvetan commented. There are no monsters around to go after us. Perhaps these monsters... I should have said monsters, but I only put monster. I didn't put the S at the end. God damn it, past me. Feed on people's fears, and they are waiting for us to lose this. I would not be surprised. It complements their overall nerve-wracking appearance. We just have to keep our heads up and not worry. By the way, thank you for saving my life again. You're welcome. I mean, it must be such a burden saving me all the time. You could have probably found a way out if it were not for me. Andrei looked Tsvetan straight in the eye, his face more serious than Tsvetan had ever seen. Tsvetan, relationships are full of sacrifices. I've risked everything to protect you. I could have easily sacrificed my life to save you, and I still will. Remember what I said when we nearly died on the secret floor? Never would I ever leave you for dead. I nearly felt this mansion's curse, but then I remember all the things people and myself have done. Even if you think of yourself as a damsel in distress, I think of you as a strong person. I really do not deserve any adulation, Tsvetan said. Finally, something in character. Just kidding. Yes, you do. You saved me from falling to this mansion, and I have saved you from falling as well. I know you feel awful for having to be saved, but you're not a burden. Sometimes even the most strong people need hope from others. Everything went quiet, and the duo walked down the maze of a basement. I almost said mansion. What? Sven let Andrei's words sink in, but was still curious about something. I wonder what will happen to us once we get out of here, Sven asked. I do not think we should tell anyone what happened. They probably will not believe us and see us as lunatics. Fleeing the place and realizing that we are finally free would sure be apocalyptic. Yes, indeed. It is something I keep on my mind to avoid the dreary feeling of this place. Though I would feel regretful about leaving everyone else behind. You're not alone. However, we also have to remember that sometimes you have to let things go. The two boys stopped at some objects left on the ground. They knelt down and picked them up. The objects were student identification cards. There was Tsvetan's, Eliska's, and Jakub's. Tsvetan, why is your card here? I must have dropped it. I must have dropped. I didn't put it. Damn it, past me! And someone picked it up and dropped it again. Why would they leave their cards in such a place? Suddenly a large blanket was placed over them. They were pounced on and dragged away, as they tried to kick and punch their way out. The last thing Tsvetan remembered seeing was Andrei's panic face before his head hit against the hard floor of the basement incredibly hard. When Tsvetan came to, he saw that he was tied to a bed. He glanced over to see that Andrei was tied as well and was trying to fight his way out. Get us out of here! What do you want? Elizabeta came into the room with the robe. Tsvetan was shocked to see how much she had changed. Her hair was messed up beyond belief, and she gave Andrei a dirty look. Shut up, before I wrap this rope around your neck. So what happened to you? Tsvetan asked. Isn't it obvious? We have been trying to find a way out, but you are stopping us. What do you mean by that? We found that after Gilbert died, we began finding more possible ways to get out. However, we cannot get out until more blood is spilled. You have to be joking. No joking around here. We think that if Andrei is killed, we'll find a way out, since he was a killer after all. We decided to call you up just for extra measures. I can't pronounce words properly. Andrei is not a killer. He was trying to stop the monster from killing Gilbert. Well, I guess denying the truth is one way to live in this wretched place. Keep screaming. I am sure the peace of this place will be merciful. Elizabeta left the incarcerated duo, leaving the door wide open. Sven could not believe what he heard. He watched Eliska and Jakub pass by, both not even looking into the room. However, when Erika passed by the room, she looked in with a regretful look on her face. I am sorry, Erika whispered before leaving. Andrei continued to wrestle with the rope that tied him down. He did not dare cry out for fear of attracting unwanted attention. Tsvetan began wrestling as well, but the ropes were tight around him. These ropes are really tight, Tsvetan commented. Be quiet, we might attract the demons here. Tsvetan continued to fight the rope, still in disbelief that Eliska and Jakub had easily fallen for such. What even is this word? Why was I given this on this vocab assignment? I don't even know what this word is. I'm not even kidding. If I saw this word without knowing that this was one of the vocab words I was given, I would think it's in another language. The Gurdaman. Yeah, that's apparently a word in my English vocab class. Eliska was typically a no-nonsense type of person that would not fall for such things, though the curse probably affected her badly, destroying her common sense. Almost got it, Andrei said, close to freeing one of his feet. By the way, where's your machete? They probably took it with them, Andrei answered, freeing his foot. A figure appeared in the doorway, but it was no monster. The light from the flashlight showed that it was Erika. She held some scissors in her other hand. We don't have much time. I told Eliza that I had to go to the bathroom, Erika said, cutting away Andrei's ropes. Why would you risk it to come back for us? The reason I came back is because what Elizabeta said about killing you guys is true. When our group was separated and Dmitri was with us, Gilbert brought up that he found a hallway with a dead end. He specifically said the hallway had a large painting on one wall of a sunset. We passed by that hallway and found no dead end, but instead it led to a room. And that room was a door with a window. We saw through the window stairs leading outside, but it was blocked off. That cannot be, Tsvetan murmured, but as his ropes were being cut off, he was thankful that Erika had vouchsafed their freedom. Unfortunately, yes, it is true, Erika replied, cutting off the last of Tsvetan's ropes and helping him up. Why don't you come with us? Andrei asked. I would, but I do not want to make Elizabeta more paranoid than she is. I know you really care about her, but she is clearly showing that she has a few screws loose. I know that, but it's exactly why I am staying. So you realize that you are making a huge sacrifice by staying with her. Yes, you would do anything for the person you love, wouldn't you? Erika inquired. I will stay by her until she is dead. We cannot blame you for wanting to stay by her side. We would do the same if we were in that situation. The three walked out of the room. Erika began walking down the left hallway when she turned back around and had something to give. Here, Erika said, handing over her student identification card. In case it's the last time we see each other. Erika walked down the hallway in a hurry. Tsvetan and Andrei were left standing in front of the room. Tsvetan took the card and pocketed it. He was stunned to find that the other cards were placed in his pocket. She is a brave girl, you know. Yes, though she never liked any of our fighting, she still stood strong, Tsvetan replied. I fear for what will happen to her. I do too, but if she is willing to stand by her love, I cannot stop her, even when such love is propagating so much paranoia. The two walked away from the room and tried to find their way back to where they were. They sure did take us far from where we were. I'm not sure if I would say carrying us kicking and screaming is a prerequisite. I'm just assuming that's what it said. I honestly can't read that word, Andrei commented. Though I guess it does help when one person is knocked out. Yeah, I think I have a bump on my head thanks to that. I can always guess it better, Andrei cooed, winking at Tsvetan. Playfulness at a time like this? Well, it is better than being fearful over the silence. That is true. Tsvetan and Andrei continued exploring the maze. The silence came back quickly, and now both of those fears had to be restrained since they had seen how not restraining it had resulted. Whew! That's actually it. That is actually it. And you know the funniest thing? At the end of this, right after I wrote the last sentence here, I did my doodles of Bulgaria and Romania together, and then I wrote a comment. This was supposed to be a short chapter, XD. My teacher replied back in a note, it wasn't. Oh god, what was that sound? What sounds do I even make anymore? What the hell? So, yeah, that was chapter 10. It actually felt shorter than I thought it would be. I don't have much to say about this chapter. Actually, I do. So, I know a lot of people are, probably worried that Hungary is being thrown into a more antagonistic role. I'm just gonna say this. In the rewrite, she's not in this role. She's not. A lot of the roles are changed. I mean, Bulgaria still remains the protagonist, but Romania and Hungary have more of an impact on the story, and Hungary is not an antagonist in the rewrite. I can tell you that much. I don't want to spoil a whole bunch of stuff. I just want to say that. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys next time.